Something I'm gonna try to do this fall and winter is film in a slightly different background using my ring light. I prefer filming in natural sunlight, but if it's something we don't have a lot of here in Pittsburgh, it's an abundance of sunlight. I think that would really limit the times that I could film. And so I think I'm gonna try to film some videos using this setup too, especially in the fall and winter. And that way I can film more often. I plan on filming 2 videos today. I really hope they turn out all right. And the first one I want to film today is an empties video. I have finished, I think, 3 products in September and 5 products in October, so I have 8 makeup empties to share and a couple of perfume empties too. I track uses for a lot of my products, so some of these I have the total number of uses it took to finish them. I'm going to start with the most expensive empty, and that's the Aqua foundation from Kogen Do. I got the shade 213, which is supposed to have a slight olive tone to it. This is my most expensive empty, I think, of the entire year and for a long time. This retails for $98. And I mentioned in a video recently that I would love to purchase it again, but it's too expensive. I'm not spending $98 on a foundation again. And a lot of people made comments that if you purchase it from, I think, Yes Style and maybe some other retailers, they charge less for it. And when I looked at it on Yes Style, it was like $40, 40 something dollars, which is way more reasonable than the $98 price tag. In fact, I have $98 down here, $96, because that's how much I paid originally. I think I got it 20% off back then, but the retail price was $96. It's since jumped up to $106 US. And so even though I love it, it has a really nice skin-like finish. It's a little deep for me on its own, so I mix it with other things, but it just kind of adds that little hint of olive to things. It takes down the level of pigment of my foundation so it looks more skin-like. It's a really great foundation mixer. I typically mix multiple things to get my perfect foundation shade anyway, and this fit really nicely into that. This I only got 128 wears out of, and I say only because considering how much I spent on it. When I'm in the market for foundations again, I would love to purchase this again if I can find it for that 40-something dollar price point. Still the price of a more high-end foundation, but definitely more reasonable than $106. My next product is the e.l.f. Camo Color Corrector in the shade Green. I also use this to mix foundations to get my perfect color. I like to use green color correctors because they help to neutralize the foundation shade. Often if it's too yellow, this helps kind of bring it back to a more skin-like color for me. And it also helps to add to the color correcting. I have a lot of redness in my face, and adding a little bit of green to my foundation helps to cover up that redness more effectively. I got 73 wears out of this. I would say I used a pretty decent amount of it every time. I would take the doe foot applicator out and then like squeeze it onto the back of my hand, kind of using the back of my hand as a palette to mix other things to get my right shade. I did like it, and I did feature it in a best and worst green color corrector video I did a couple of months ago. This wasn't my absolute favorite one. I definitely have a lot that I like over this. So as much as I enjoyed using it, and I'm glad I finished it, it's not the green color corrector that I would run out and repurchase. 2 setting sprays here. The first one is from Jason Wu. It was the Magic Spell setting spray. This was relatively underwhelming to me. I don't think this really did a lot to help the longevity of my makeup. It helped to take down the powdery look like the majority of most setting sprays would do, but I prefer setting sprays that are going to also help me with oil control and help my makeup last longer, and this really didn't do that. And I got 103 wears out of this before it was empty. This next setting spray, I didn't like at all. I have some real duds here today, and this is one of them. The One Size On Till Dawn Mattifying Waterproof Setting Spray. I fell for the hype 100%. This is a aerosol spray can, which I don't like. I don't think it's good for like air quality because I think it just hangs in the air longer and you're breathing it in. This smelled so strong. It smelled like hairspray, and I would have to go to a different part of my house to put this on and then come back so that I wasn't breathing it in and smelling that all day. One thing I did like about it is when you sprayed it on your face, even if you put a lot on, your face would still look matte. Like it wouldn't change the finish of your makeup. Some setting sprays, you put them on and they make you super glowy right away. I'm not always going for that look necessarily, so I do like that this would kind of keep your face the same finish as it was before you sprayed it on. It might have mattified it a little bit. I think out of a lot of setting sprays that I've tried, this did do a better job with longevity. I'm not saying it's not effective, I just hate the application process of it. And I only got 35 wears out of this, and I think this is 36 something dollars, 30 something dollars full price. Yeah, so the actual product was fine, but I don't like the price point, I don't like the cost per use, and I don't like the application process for this at all. I have a lipstick empty. I have some complicated thoughts about this because I love the Charlotte Tilbury kissing formula, and that's what this was. It was from their Look of Love collection, so it has special packaging, and this shade was Nude Romance. So it was a beautiful, slightly peachy nude color for me. I have done a litmus feature on this if you'd like to see more in depth about it. The reason I purchased this and the other shade from this line called Wedding Bells, which I'm in the process of finishing now, is because it's in reusable packaging. So you can actually lift this bullet out very easily, buy a replacement of this, and put it back in and get to keep this gorgeous packaging. And that was what I planned on doing. So when I finished Nude Romance, I went to look at the other shades to see what I would like the replacement to be for this packaging. Number one, Nude Romance was sold out at the time. It was not available for purchase, and there were only 3 other shades from this line that work with this packaging, one of which I already have, Wedding Bells, and then the other 2 were shades I didn't care about, or they were in the matte formula, which I don't prefer. I understand it was a specific line, probably catered around like weddings or brides. That is a severe lack of shades. If you're gonna have reusable packaging like that, I think it would be beneficial to have more than just 4 shade options, because I don't know, it would just be nice. If there were other kissing formula colors that were interesting to me, I would purchase the refill, but I don't want to go out and purchase the same shade again. I really liked wearing it. It was a beautiful color, and I didn't actually keep track of the number of uses for this lipstick actually, but I know I wore it at least almost 200 times, if not more. So I got a lot of wear out of it, and I liked the formula, I liked the color, but I don't need to go out and purchase the same thing right away. It would have been nice to be able to buy a slightly different shade just to change things up. So I have this reusable packaging, but I don't have any lipsticks to put in it currently. So that's a little frustrating. So yeah, a little bit of a bittersweet story with that one. 3 more lip products after that. 2 of them are stains. I have talked about the Sacheu lip liner throughout my project pan this year. The one I tried to finish up earlier this year, I only got like 48 uses out of. This one I was able to get 96 wears out of. I think because it was a fresher tube and because I only used it to line my lips and not all over my lips like I was with the first tube. So with those changes, I was able to get a lot more wears out of it, which was great. This was the shade Clover, which is a cool toned brown, and it kind of helped create a really natural looking shadow on my lips. I have other stains in my collection, and so I'm not running out to buy Sacheu lip stains currently. I did receive this in PR for full disclosure. Once I finished this, I realized I did miss having lip stains. I wanted to keep wearing a lip stain. I had worked it into my daily routine and I enjoyed how it looked. So I went through my collection to pull out some other lip stains that I had. And the other 2 stains I had were from Wonderskin. So this is the shade Adore. It's a light pink color. And I checked to see when I received this in PR, and I got it in April of 2024. So I have had it for a little over a year. And when I went to open it up, it was completely dried out and chunked up and unusable. And I looked to see how many times I wore this shade in particular, and I only wore it 6 times. Yeah, the other shade Whimsical, I only got 30 wears out of it before it went empty. And I don't know if that's necessarily because all of the Wonderskin stains dry up more quickly, or if it was because I was using an older tube, just like with the Sacheu one. Maybe if I use a fresh tube of the Wonderskin lip stain, I'll get more wears out of it, just like with the Sacheu one. So I consider this one an empty, and then I do have one more Wonderskin stain that I got very recently in PR, and I have started wearing that every day. I want to wear it when it's super fresh to see how many wears I can get out of it. And I've already worn it 10 times. So I've already surpassed the 6 uses for this one. So we'll just have to see how long it takes for me to finish that one so that I can get a better idea of how long it takes to go through a fresh tube of that stain. Anyway, I liked the Sacheu one. I would go out and purchase one of these myself. They're like $12. Usually you can get them on sale. The Wonderskin ones I think are 20 something dollars, so they're a little bit steeper. We'll see how many wears I can get out of it, out of that fresh tube. That might help me determine whether or not this one is worth the money. I'm gonna give it a fair try, and then I'll be able to compare the Sacheu and the Wonderskin stains to see which one is the better value for money. I don't know if it's because I haven't filmed in a while and I feel a little rusty, but I feel like I'm blabbering on. I don't even think I'm making sense right now. It's probably gonna be such a mess when I go back and try to edit this video. But I have one more lip product and it's from NYX. It's the Natural Lip Pencil in the old formula. This was part of my project pan, so if you follow that project, you've seen me go through this over the past several months. It was a beautiful natural light pink color and I really enjoyed it. This is still my favorite lip product formula. Yeah, I really love it. I have another of this shade in my collection. I went through and I purchased 3 new lip pencils from NYX in their new formula to test them against the old ones. I do have a video comparing that if you'd like to see the differences in the shade and in the formula. So I have already repurchased this. I really like it. And the last 2 are 2 perfumes, and they're both more summery perfumes, meaning I was able to wear them a lot during the summer and finish them before the season ended, which I'm really glad to see. The first one is one that you'll have seen in my project pan, the Sol de Janeiro. This is incredibly sweet and gourmand. I really like it. I'm not always the most sweet perfume type of person, but this was really good. I'm really glad I got this and I enjoyed it. I have a couple of other sweet perfumes in my collection currently, so I'm not gonna run out and purchase this again. And I don't know, I might just buy it as a body spray next time. I'm not sure, or I might even just buy the cream. I don't know. I like the scent. Oh, you know what? I have this as a hair conditioner. I completely forgot. So I still get to enjoy the scent and I get to smell it like in my hair, which I think is a really nice, more subtle way to experience the scent for me personally. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna keep using the hair conditioner and not purchase the perfume. I don't know why that almost slipped my mind. The conditioner smells so nice. It's more expensive. It's more money than I typically spend on a conditioner, so I don't use it all the time, but it does smell really good and it does last in your hair. It's lovely. And for the Sol de Janeiro perfume, I got to wear it 123 times before it was gone. And the other one I really liked, but I didn't get a lot of wears out of it before it was gone, and it's the Vacation perfume. This is, it says scent of the world famous Vacation sunscreen company. And I do like the scent of this brand's sunscreens, and I would say that the perfume does smell a lot like it, and it does have a very like beachy summery scent. I wore this on a lot of summer trips, and so it has a nostalgic element to it for me now. I really liked it, but this is $60 and I only got 44 wears out of this. So unless I can find it for like half off or something, I don't think I would buy it again, which is a shame because I really liked it. But yeah, I just blew through it. I didn't even think I was being too heavy-handed with it. It also didn't have like the best lasting power. It's a more subtle perfume. It smells really good. If it were less expensive, I would consider purchasing it again. Just to give you some numbers, since I track it anyway, this total Empties, not including the perfume, totaled at $228. And so far this year, I have finished $1,019.70 worth of makeup products this year. And I have officially finished 50 products. So that's exciting. I didn't have any specific goals necessarily with that. For me, for 2025, my 3 main goals were I wanted to finish my oldest lip products, which I think I'm doing a great job at. I wanted to focus on finishing my oldest eyeshadow singles. Again, I think I've done really good at that. And then I wanted to finish a higher number of products than I brought in. And I do think I've also done a great job with that too. In fact, I have those numbers as well. I've finished 50 products. I bought 16 products so far this year. And if you combine the number of products I bought and the number of products I received in PR, I brought in a total of 33 products. So I've finished 17 more products than I've brought in this year, which I think is really great. And that's everything I had to share with you. Those are all the products I finished over the last 2 months. Let me know what you think of this new background. I don't really have a ton of other options because the sun is just not, it's refusing to shine today, which is already kind of depressing. I really hope this new filming setup works out so that I can use it as an alternative form of filming videos. But in the meantime, that's everything I have. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!